Hey everybody, we're jumping back in with some old New England, all out old New England. So we're gonna try to pick back up where we left off. Not exactly sure I remember what we were working on. I just remember with the new update to the mods and to the mod list itself and what we had to do in order to basically repair Fallout after the whole um AE bunt boggle or whatever that sometimes Bethesda just makes you wonder how you keep from going under, you know what I mean? So we're gonna jump back in and now this we are is an actual playthrough, so we're gonna try to continue playing this one. This is one of my favorite Fallout mod lists on Wabbajack, and I'm enjoying it. And then I kind of am very intrigued by the changes and the additions to the mod list. So that is pretty cool. And guys, if you like this kind of content and you like jumping in here and want to see more of it, definitely hit the like button. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like about it. Let you know what you want to see, any kind of improvements you'd like to see. And also, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's free and it really does help the channel. All right, here we are. So you can see we've got Heather with us. We are at her bunker, I believe, where we left off last time. We got dog meat too. We had already gone down into her bunker and done a bunch of stuff. Let's just go back and make sure. How can we tell if we already been there? Well, a lot of stuff we would have looted already and pulled out of the cabinets and stuff like that. Her bunker is cool because it provides you supplies. So you can jump down in there.
Maybe I'll have some minute noodles. Not the best noodles.
We got to go to first person. Got to go to first person when you're down here, and then you got to turn on the flashlight. I wish the lighting was better. I'm not sure if that's a reason. All right, so she's busy, which is not even true, but basically it considers her busy, so she doesn't respond when you hit on that. But how we know for sure now, so yeah, this makes me wonder why I wouldn't have. And I must have found the bottles elsewhere, but you can see the bread box is empty. And then the tea chest is empty, right? So we could cook if we want to. The fridge is empty. And then you're like, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, there were magazines here. They're gone. We've taken those. Um, whatever was in the desk looks like we took. Armor and supplies we took. The mailbox. We took the stuff out of there. So far, all the containers that we're looking at would normally have something in here, right? This one, there would have been some teacup cakes, some tarberry. There would have been a glowing teacup cake in there. Another thing is you can see when I mouse over, or not mouse over, but hover over this thing here, it doesn't give me the activate. So that tells me
That's the stuff I've brought home with me over the years. There's a signed picture of the silver shroud in the cabinet.
now you see once she's talked about it, you can't activate it anymore. So we didn't take anything out of there. She's not busy anymore.
Minute noodles are good. They'll do in a pinch, but they aren't power noodles. Nothing beats power noodles. It's the best food in the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm. And then we come over here, got a chemistry station, weapons bench. And you see there's a box down here. And then there's a trash can, right? So we could actually grab 5 more bottles here,
Nice and full.
right? Now we already grabbed what's in here. There's also more stuff down here. We decided we didn't need it, so no point. Combat shotgun, cleaver. Do we need those? No. So
We were on the road near Lexington when that rad stag came out of nowhere and charged my mom. She went down on her ass, rifle flying off into the bushes. Didn't stop her. She jumped up, grabbed it by the neck, and stabbed it through the heart with a combat knife. Woman was a fucking badass.
hmm. So yeah, there's like different places. This, that there, the noodles. There's places, the horse there that you can click on, and she has little, comments to say about those things. Okay. Well, if people ask me, no, I'm not happy with the wheel. And it's interesting because one of the things that I saw was in the comments, someone had mentioned about, how most mods or most controllers are not, um, how do you say, designed for the UI mods that are used. And part of me wanted to push back a little to argue that it isn't necessarily that the controllers aren't set up for the UI mods, but the UI mods aren't set up to incorporate or use the controllers. And what I mean by that is the controllers have always been, something that you can use with the game, right? When they put the game, Fallout 4, when it came out, you can use the controller right from the start on computer, as far as I remember, right? And then it wasn't, and then usually when the most developers create a game, a lot of the triple A titles, and then one of the things you look for when you're looking at a game is, does it support controller? Is it partial? Is it full controller support? This game has full controller support. So the game itself supports the controller. It's the additional or the new UIs that are being created by the modders that are only being created with the keyboard and mouse in mind, right? And that is the unfortunate part. So it's kind of like when we're trying to enhance the UI, we're forgetting that, oh, wait a minute, you know, it could be. And the reason I say it was full controller support is because remember, it came out on consoles as well, side by side. So it had to work with the controller. And there would be no reason for it to not work with a controller on PC as well, right? There's no reason to make it not be able to do that. So again, more than likely, when it was developed with the controller in mind anyway because it was coming out on console. So there, I can't get behind 100% behind the UI. The controllers weren't made or designed for the UI, and it's like, well, it's actually the other way around. So, but I think the Wheeler thing is more for me. It's like I understand this when it comes to certain things. I understand when using the Wheeler and in say like for bandages and stim packs and like if you look at the MAME mod, I don't like it. And the reason I don't like it is because of the, and I'm going to call it ambiguity. And it really is. And then I say ambiguity because it's not clear what, what do I need to use for this situation, that situation, or this situation. And then that is partially true and partially not true when I say that, right? It's not 100%. And the reason I say that is because in with the main mod, there there are two types of stim packs. Stim pack 1 and stim pack 2. There's ibuprofen. There's bandages, right? There's splints, right? And then and here's the thing. I understand like, hey, yeah, if you if you got a broken bone or a fractured limb or something, you know, then for reality's sake or realism's sake, you need a splint for that. not a stim pack or a bandage. Okay, so you put a splint on it and it should fix that. Now the question is, and I think this is kind of where I think I kind of have a question is this. All right, so I break my leg, right? Or I roll my ankle and I need to put a splint on it, right? So that means I'm a little hobbled. So I move slower. What does that do to my health until the ankle is healed, right? And how long does the splint take to heal? That's an open question. How long does the splint take to heal my ankle? Because obviously it's not an immediate thing. Now, the intent for the stim pack in vanilla Fallout is that it heals you immediately, right? So we're taking that away. And then say I get a bleed and I use whatever, it's a severe bleed, right? So I use that one thing. I can't think what it's called, a IFAK or something like that, or whatever. I use that, and it's bear with me here. What time is it? Because maybe we should have stayed. Oh shoot, yeah, we got to go back down there. See if we can sleep down in there until the morning. Um, so I use that for the
I'm
bleed.
hungry. Maybe I'll have some minute noodles.
Now the question is,
Better than no
does
food.
that heal me or does it just stop the bleed? Okay. And then if it only just stops the bleed, then I still need to take something to heal. But when do I take it? Do I take it after I get the bleeding to stop? Or if I take them both at the same time, will one cancel out the other or will one just not register because, you know, I took them both at the same time? So is there an order that I need to take them? I mean, come on, it does make sense if there was an order, but you know what I mean? If I take one at the same time and then immediately take the other, did I not wait long enough? You know, and so it doesn't exactly work. And then, okay, so I have a bleed. All right, a severe bleed. I take that. Then do I need a bandage? And if I take the bandage, does that help stop? You know, so does the bleeding stop? Then I need a bandage for the wound. And then can I take a stim pack and get my health back? Do you see all the things that are starting to pop up there? And the problem that I had is that during that process, during that process, you're not getting any feedback. You're not getting any feedback as to your condition. So, so technically or basically, what's happening here is I don't know what my condition is. I don't understand I don't know that if the fractured limb or the sprain or whatever needed the splint, I don't know if that's healed yet. I don't know if the bleed has completely stopped yet. I don't know if the bandage is working to help heal the wound. And then secondly, I don't know if and I don't see any feedback as generated as to whether the stim pack is working or helping to do anything. So with that, you're sitting there and then I had case in point. I mean, I used every single there was a one situation where I used every single medical item I had twice. And my health did not move one bit. And basically, what I decided at that point was it was a BS mod. and not something I ever want to play in my game. Now, I understand heal over time and all that kind of stuff, and in reality, you don't instantaneously heal a broken limb, or a wound doesn't just immediate close up or whatever. My argument is you're playing a video game. Also, the mechanics and dynamics of the video game requires that you heal relatively quickly in order to proceed further in the game. So realism at times just has to be thrown out the door because of the way that the game and the world and everything operates. It's like you're sitting there and you're telling me, "Well, I want it to do this." Well, then you need to change the entire way the game works. If I'm going to be down a quarter health and not going to be recovering that for a a certain period of time, yet I still have 20 enemies that I have to, deal with. Are you supposed to survive that? Or was the intent, yeah, it's like, hey, if you're outnumbered and dead. And let's just keep, let's respawn. And it's like, respawn, really? But is that really realism there? Is that how, it really works? So it's kind of like you can't pick and choose just which things are going to be realistic or work the way it does in real life without modifying other things that is impacted by or that it impacts. And really what I'm meaning is if I'm going to if the point of the game is to continuously throw enemies at me, and we ensure that the enemies are tough enough, strong enough to actually create damage on us, and then we take damage. And a lot of times, the way we make games harder is simply in adjusting the damage table so that we do less damage and take more. So we purposely set it up so that we take more damage from enemies, and then we see more enemies. Yet we're adding in a mechanism that reduces the amount of health um, that we get back. What I can't even think of the word. The word's not coming to me right now. But now these things that were meant to resupply our health or whatever, we nerf those so that it does it over time, that it does less, that is not as effective. And you know, okay, so you do all that, yet you didn't change any of the other mechanisms of that for the game itself to compensate for the fact that, oh yeah, so whatever the healing stuff that we're using no longer works the same way. And yeah, you know good luck. Really, that's what it is. Good luck. It doesn't work the same way. You're not going to get the same benefits from it. Yet we are actually going to nerf and buff other things so that the game is harder, and so that you take damage even more. But we're going to nerf the way that the recovery works, the healing agents work, so that you can't recover and gain any benefit from that. And so to me, it's kind of contradictory or counter. And like I said, it just, in principle, it just doesn't, how do you say? I just don't find it a a good add to the game. And then, like I said, as a matter of fact, it really does just come across. It just comes across as a poor attempt to make the game harder without clearly looking at the at all the mechanics and how this one change affects this change or affects this particular mechanic or how this change affects here. And it's like it's kind of the same way of just going in and then like, okay, we want to make this harder, so we're just gonna nerf this. And that's it. We're just gonna overall blank do just a a blanket nerfing of this particular thing because we want to make the game harder and we don't have a better solution. And then it's kind of like, well, then figure a better solution out. I better figure out what exactly am I supposed to be doing right now, to tell you the truth. Okay, I don't think I have. Use the controller to create a bubble. Not ready for that. Okay, we'll read the newspaper article, but right now, I mean, literally, it's telling us that we need to go to Diamond City, I guess. Yeah, Piper, that one person could tell you, but she won't. All you care about, wait a minute, yeah, Piper. That one person could tell you, but she won't. All you care about is your effing story, not that I lost everything that day. There was a man up in, there was a man at UP, okay, at UP, in charge of all the metal synths. They called him Kellogg. I'm going to hunt down that bastard and make him pay for what he did. There must have been 50 cents there that day. Think that sounds like a good number to start with. Kill 50. See how I feel after that. Right now, I want to kill all of them, every single one. We can go. Oh, we can no longer deny the rumors that the University Point has suffered a terrible tragedy today. I received confirmation that an army of synths descended on the settlement, killing everyone there. Nearby raiders witnessed the event, but being high on chems at the time were unable to provide the one last detail this reporter so desperately craves. Why University Point? We may yet find the answer to that question. My sources tell me that one person made it out alive. That person can tell us what we all need to hear. Why did the Institute target University Point? What did the Institute gain by wiping out the entire population? Could Diamond City be next? Rest assured, dear readers, I will do everything in my power to find the one survivor that walked out of University Point alive. And that's it. Okay. Okay. Nope, I just saw something move. Oh, God. I almost shot her. I really did. She's running because this is what they do. This is what they. This is the this is the AI for these, and it's like there's no situational awareness. There's no understanding of tactics, and yeah, they just run around. It's like, wait a minute. Mm. All right, let's see. So, okay, so to finish up my whole point here, and because I know I went down a whole big, huge, deep rabbit hole, um, about MAME and not liking it, but when it comes to the wheel, I can understand because with MAME there would be categories for the medications. So you go here, and then instead of just bandage, you might have bandage, ibuprofen, and a couple of other things, and you can choose there. So it makes sense when you have that amount of items that you're trying to put and access through the wheel. But here, what I'm doing, what I'm looking at right here, the D-pad works just as good, and for me, it's preferable, right? So I'd prefer the D-pad. You know, so that is one way to look at it. But one of the things that I say quite a bit is that change for the sake of change isn't always good. And a lot of times it really makes a difference as to what you're changing and why you're changing it. All right, so we're just now discovering the super duper mark. So that leads me to believe we haven't actually been to it before. Uh-oh. Now, of course, it makes me wonder about over here.
I can't believe I'm standing down here in the middle of Lexington. I've never met anyone that's made it down here. The raiders and ferals keep everyone out.
Which is weird because I don't see anything. What I'm looking for is, you see, the turret is gone as well. So we probably already got that. Probably already took that out. But wouldn't we have had her with us? So you can see how her dialogue might be triggered more on location than actual events. Okay, let's get out of there. I think we're gonna go into the I think we're gonna go clear. We're gonna go try and clear the super duper mark. So yeah. So some of the things
I cannot wait to see what's in here. Here's
you
hoping for
can't wait to
donuts.
see what's in here, huh? Careful what you wish for. I'm gonna go to first person for this. I'm gonna turn this on for now, so we can see better. I honestly don't know if the if our flashlight or Heather running around all over the place alerts them to our presence. You see that? Oh, dang. Seriously? Well, they would have told me. Right, let's see. Door. One likeness. So for sure, it is not send. It is not loot. It is not hand. So it's either loss, roll, or loan. It is not for. Now, how do I know it's not for when it could be the R or it could be the O? That is exactly it. It could be the R, it could be the O, or neither in this case, because it could be the O in the third spot. Only thing is, there isn't any other word here with an O in the third spot, so it's not an O in the third spot. So it's either the R or the O, because there's no other words beginning with D as well. So, but it's not both. We only had one likeness, so it's one or the other. Now, is it R? I don't believe it is. Because then, and the reason I say I don't believe it is because of possible choices of words that it could be, there is no R left. None of, okay, so loan, right? No R at the end. Beds is out. And roll. I would say loan, roll, and loss are our options at this point. Okay, so now it could be either roll or loss. And the reason I said it could be roll or loss is because it was either going to be the OE combination or the LO combination. And fortunately, you can see in some of these, you can kind of work through the the code without even trying to cancel all the words out. And then what I would have done is I would have gotten down to, if I had to, I would have gotten down to one last answer, right? And then I would have started going through and reducing the choices, right? And then possibly finding, and then possibly also finding the reset, the tries reset, so I didn't um, have to worry about that. All right, we'll take those. Now, I'm surprised they didn't alert everyone else too. We have 0%. Oh, there it is. Don't run. Get him. Did the dog just disappear? Where did Heather go, by the way? What is that? Nothing. Okay. Law and order has prevailed. Really? I kind of disagree with you. The reason I disagree with you is I think there's more around here. Cooler is empty. Ooh. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, Heather.
Bingo.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. All right. I don't think you're gonna survive there, sir. All right. There we go.
Yes.
Now, I like the option. Come on. Man, I was missing. That sucked. Now, is he the one that crawls down? Or is there going to be another one? Ooh. Sorry to leave you with no clothes, bro, but... You know, I got to get my loot on. Go ahead. We'll clean up after you. Just don't let him come our way, okay? Fusion set. Oh, he was a Minuteman, too. Alright. Wait. Fusion cell. Fusion cell. There. Okay. Alright. Doesn't seem like things are getting any better here.
Back off.
Oh, goodness. Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause apparently, I can't hit them worth a darn. Alright, so... Heather, you okay? Apparently, you guys bit off way more than you can chew. No one told you to come down here yet. Okay.
Another fight, another win.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the late assistance. And I was trying to bash, and it just made myself stand up. So apparently, I don't know the bash button. That's what I was trying to do. Did I just hit the dog? Sorry. Now, in case you guys are wondering, yeah, this is the lootable crates mod that I added. I don't believe you can come in here and the crates and the vault-tec containers actually will have anything in here. I think in vanilla, they're just um, I call them set pieces, which means they're just there for aesthetics. They don't actually serve a purpose. And the looter in me feels like every container has a purpose to contain loot. And when it doesn't, it's very triggering. It is the worst thing ever. So, never happy to see that. Holy cow. They're 3 deep? Alright. A cursed chess piece. Oh. Josh's hollow tape. And another laser musket. Not a fan of the laser muskets, really. Well, for sure the crank ones. Right? Okay. Anything else? We'll take the fusion cells, obviously. Alright. Wooden crate. I do want to test the bash lock.
That's it.
One of these times. I, like, purposely missed. I'm not sure why I missed. But it was almost like it was on purpose. Like I aimed and then went off to the left. Not sure why I grabbed the nails. It's not like I really need them. Alright. Where's the guy? Calls down.
I always get so excited when I find duct. There we go. Tape, or Wonder Glue. If you don't use it, you can always trade it. Everybody needs adhesive.
Okay. Mole rat teeth. Alright, let's see what this has got to say. Oh, okay. do have to question, what is Dog Meat wearing that he goes invisible? It's temporary till he, you know, well, actually, what is he wearing that has the chameleon effect so that he's invisible until he actually moves? I hear something. Is it behind me or in front of me? Hold up, hold up. It worked. Wait, hold on. What are you shooting? Really? You guys okay? Oh, look at this. Alright, I ain't mad at you. Preserved mac and cheese. Alright, this I think puts us in the back garage or wherever. I missed again. One of these times, if I was, look at that. So we know where to go if we need some like food. Emma's holotape. If we need like food. We know where to go. What did it say our looting was up to? Okay. I think that's it. We've cleared the place out and collected quite a bit of stuff. Now, what would be cool? So you can see, like right now, we're rolling out, right? We're leaving this place. We haven't looted everything. We're saying, hey, we can come back and grab more stuff later, right? So, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. If we were alcoholics, we would be in heaven. Okay. Oops. So, what would be cool? And I know it would take a lot of effort, right? But what would be pretty cool is a system where the NPCs and raiders and such would also be actively scavenging. Oh, I didn't want to up. Okay, so we already took that. How did we already take this stuff and not discover? And not discover. I was gonna say, why is everything so blurry? Then I look down and I can see the champagne glass there, and I'm like, oh, okay, we are inebriated, drunk. That's what we are. Oh man, if we were missing just earlier, just imagine how we're gonna be missing going forward right now. Okay, but if they were actively looting and trying to collect stuff the same, just like we were, I just think it would change kind of like the dynamic of the game in a sense where, right? I mean, technically, they would probably more than likely get to stuff before we do, so everything would be picked over. And, you know, what would they do with the stuff that they were collecting, actively collecting, right? Would they be improving their gear? I mean, it's kind of like, are we getting to the point where we can create AI to basically do the exact same things that we do in playing the game, right? So we go in, we scavenge as much as we can, and then we actively make our characters better and more indestructible. And, you know, could we do that so that, you know, the NPCs or whatever around the map would also be actively working to make themselves stronger and better. And then if they manage to do that, what does that mean for us? You know what I mean? Because right now, a lot of what we see and encounter throughout the world, right? The NPCs, I mean, if you really want to look at it and be realistic, they're not very smart. And the way that we nerf or boost games to make the games harder relies a lot on just like I said before, making it so that you do less damage and the NPCs do more, right? And maybe instead of facing 3 raiders, you'll face 8, so increased numbers along with um, some improved AI, but basically damage modifications, right? So, and what I mean by that is when we're playing, say, on hard, damage done is nerfed down to 50%. So you're only doing half damage, while the enemy is doing 2 times as much damage to you. And then on very hard or extreme or whatever the levels are, the damage that's being done, you're doing 1/4 damage, while they're doing 2.5, maybe 3 times as much damage. And then so now all of a sudden, the game is harder just because you have to, it takes a lot more. And then that puts you in that position where, okay, so it's hard now. And then the complaint is, well, now we're just dealing with bullet sponges. Well, that's because you have to hit them 4 times as many, 4 times as much, in order to do the same damage as you would have on normal. And then very easy would mean you're doing double damage and they're doing half damage to you. And it's like, is that really the way to increase or decrease, difficulty? Is that really the way, is that really how you want to do it? Instead of trying to figure out ways to make, you know, the AI much smarter on higher difficulties, right? So the AI works smarter, better, and really requires you to think. And then also, if you look at, just take lock picking, for example, right? That window of the perfect spot to get the lock pick in, to make it, actually work, is smaller on higher difficulties, right? So you have say if you're looking at a circle and then you can say on easy, the window is 10 degrees, so from 0 to 10 of a 360-degree circle, the window might be 10 degrees wide. And then on hard, it might only be 7.5, 8 degrees wide. And then on very hard, might only be 5 degrees wide. And then um, on extreme, it might only be 2. So finding that perfect spot is harder. And so you can see that in some cases and with some mechanics, yeah, there are ways to make it harder without nerfing something, right? The other thing too is maybe if this is, and I'm not saying it is, but if the brittleness, right, the the
I
the
should use
strength
left
of
arm
the
to be able to
lockpick
ride in the car
is
instead of
less
having to
at
hold
higher
the
levels,
steering
so
wheel.
it'll snap faster. Now, me personally, I'm not on board with. I'm going to go up here and take a look. What's up here? I'm not on board with the whole lockpick breaking, just because in true art, if you pen and paper, you don't have like 20 sets of lockpicks that you're carrying around with you. You have one set of lockpicks, and it's based on your skill, right, and the difficulty of the lock as to whether you're able to open the lock. And it kind of doesn't make sense for the games to not do it that way. That way. And then the reason I bring that up is because the whole lockpicks have weight or don't have weight. The argument between ammo having to have weight, money having to have weight. And it's like, well, the dynamic of the game requires you to carry around much more ammo than you normally would, in real life that you would have on you. Um, and it requires you to carry around more gold and money on you than you would in real life. And the thing that we don't see or realize is that, at no point IRL would you be carrying around 4,000 pieces of gold, or in this case, 4,000 bottle caps on your person. So the argument that, again, that it should have weight gets canceled out by the fact that, well, maybe, but then the need to carry around 4,000 of them kind of con you know contradicts the whole fact, the argument of it needing to have weight. It's like, well, here's the problem, right? Bottle caps, if they had weight, and I got to carry around 4,000, 5,000 of them in order to purchase or buy stuff. Now all of a sudden, you know, I've got this huge sack over my shoulder, right? With that much, with just bottle caps that I'm lugging around from point A to point B, everywhere I go. So when we start making the arguments about real life, IRL, and realism, it's like, well, okay, well, let's do it. All right, let's really think realistically here. It's like, I understand the argument that, yeah, I want as much realism as possible, but I also want to have realism make sense as well. And the idea that we would carry around 4,000 caps is insane. But the mechanisms of the game require that you do. So it's like, well, the idea that I would be carrying around that much, that many, is one thing, but the game requires that I do carry around that much. Right? I was trying to get in there. I'm like, since when does a tree, you know, I don't know that this would actually allow me to climb up there. So that's the one thing there too, right? And then here's the argument about ammo. The right there, it took 3 shots to put that guy down. If there was a horde, you know what I mean? How many rounds? I'm carrying 346 rounds of, well, actually 350 rounds of ammo on me right now, just for this one gun. And it's because it's needed, because it takes multiple shots to put down, you know, any enemy. So, so now the fact that I am required, or it requires me to use as much ammo as I do in order to handle the enemies. And then again, like, with the increased difficulty, right? Where if it took 3 shots to take that one guy down, and I was playing on, say, novice, and then on increased difficulty, very hard, it takes 2.5 times the amount of shots. So it took 3. So now you're telling me it takes eight shots to put him down. And so now I have to have enough ammo to, and then say I face 10 of those. I have to have 80 rounds of ammo to put down and take out 10 ghouls. Anything we can do here? No. So now, because of the way the game works, and because of what I have to do to make the game either more difficult, less difficult, whatever, now I am required. The requirement is either you go around with no way, no, either this game quickly becomes a, you know, I'm walking around with a baseball bat, you know, and I mean, ammo scarcity is a thing, but I just say that the mechanics of the game doesn't actually play into the. Are you better? Oh my goodness. So the mechanics of the game doesn't play into the whole thing where it's like, yeah, we can carry, you know, where everything needs to have weight to it. My argument becomes, well, one, it's just the game. Two, it's like, yeah, I'm all for more realism as long as we are actually actively modifying certain mechanics so that the realism makes sense, you know, and then so that if we want to incorporate certain things, then we have to make changes, to accommodate and make sure the whatever we add or take away, you know, also makes sense. And if we don't, then I want to say we're unnecessarily making things harder and punishing ourselves for no reason, or not for no reason, but just for the sake of this without actually thinking things through and ensuring that this one thing isn't necessarily handicapping us to the point where it's no longer fun or
Broken.
oh, master locks cannot be bashed. Even though it gives me the option to bash it. All right, you got any meat? Yep. So again, I can be talked into a lot of the changes and additions that have been made and can be made, but they have to make sense and they have to fit into the overall flow of the game as well. So you can't just make a change haphazardly. Just say, okay, yeah, let's nerf this to make it harder. And it's like, okay, what's the outcome of nerfing that? You know, what's the result here? So, like survival, you probably guys know, I don't really 100% agree. Well, I don't mind and I don't care about the reduction in carry weight for survival mode, right? And because a lot of times I'll do extra stuff or bring in other things, backpacks, stuff like that, to help improve carry weight so that I'm not as impacted by that reduction.
today, F.
Are they jumping? Yeah, he was jumping right at her. I thought I saw. Why did it just give you the option to search instead of doing that? Empty. Be like here. It's search instead of. What happened to the guys that were down here? Hold on, hold on. I feel like. Okay. It sounds like there's more of them. Just can't tell where. Did I get the ant meat up here? I probably did not. So yeah. So there's a lot of things that get changed and modified in these lists that, I look at, and I'm just not 100% on board with everything. And that is one of the things. And I remember I was not watching, but yeah, I was watching this video, and it's a YouTuber that I follow, and I've become. Oh, I dropped the. No, I dropped the controller. Um, and so this, and lately I have a harder time agreeing with some of the narratives out here about the quality of certain games and studios. One of the things that they had pointed out was the decline of BioWare, and basically how I blame EA for the decline of BioWare. And then if we remember me personally, get out of there! Oh my God, we got lucky. Oh, every single time I come through there, I get trapped. I get caught there. I get totally caught there. And I don't know what it is. I never scan or look. They can they can make do on their own. I just want to get out of there. All right. So, do I have a bandage? See, bandages don't work that like
Years ago, my dad had this friend. Thought he'd get rich if he could get the brewery up and running again. Didn't work. Raiders ran him off.
okay. So okay, so yeah, so I blame EA for the decline of Bioware, and what in the world is going on there? You see something's happening right there. I think I know what's causing it. And to be honest with you, I should just take it out because it's not really working the way it's supposed to anyway. So there's no reason to have to deal with that if the mod that's causing that doesn't even work anyway. Okay, so the reason I think Bioware blame EA for the because if we remember back in that at that point or that time, the issue that we were facing or Bioware was facing right was they were trying to put out Mass Effect Andromeda, and they were trying to put out Anthem, and things kept changing and everything like that, and then the issue really you can kind of pinpoint it and say, well, one of the main problems. What's this guy? Wastelander.
Looking to buy?
All right, let's see what you got.
Sure. Let's take a look.
because I can probably get rid of some stuff too. You got a sickle. You ain't got no money though, so um. Right, so now I gotta buy something of yours. We'll take that. I'll take that, and I'll take the dirty water too. All right. So we just took all your money. Sorry. Okay, so they were trying to put all that stuff out, and what happened was greed, corporate greed, and one of the things I've never agreed with um, is letting investors dictate your overall strategy for whatever game you're producing. Um, reason being that doesn't work. That just doesn't work because corporate and investors just don't understand what people gamers really want in a game, and sometimes numbers can be your own worst enemy, right? So you look at certain games and you say, well, look what this is doing here. Look what these loot boxes. I mean, and the worst creation of any video game ever, the worst creation in the history of video games are loot boxes, right? You know, in Madden, there's the, MUT and the different, and the cards, and baseball, there's the cards, and, FIFA. And then, so EA is the worst at it, is the biggest culprit because, yes, because of all the loot box stuff that they created in their sports games. And so you have, yeah, I know, I'm getting irradiated. So then you have every, gaming outlet or gaming producer, whatever, saying, hey, we need to capture this money, right? There's so much money. And then, but that's partly on us too, right? Not just on the gaming companies, but that's on us because we keep buying. We have disposable income that we keep buying over and over again. We spend it on these loot boxes. You know, it there's an industry and there's a money and a value that these companies they want to tap into. They're like, well, we need to get a piece of that pie too. It's no longer just making quality games. It's making games that can turn a recurring profit, not just okay, the game launches and then boom, we make all our money from launch day sales. It and but what we do, unfortunately, is we keep buying. God dang it! Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. Do I have a gas mask that's gonna help me here? Hey, are you serious? Is that the best I got? We're sucking. All right. Hold on a sec. All right. We need to take that. Let's take this too. Let's get that going and get that going as well. Let's boost ourselves a little bit. All right.
Holy shit, we found a real alien. Can I have his weapon?
What the heck? What is these? we get the blaster? Can I go to first person, please? Ham radio. Where's his blaster? I can't be in here much longer. Where's the freaking blaster? I can't remember if we got the blaster already. But you can see we had to get up out of here. Okay. I hate doing that. Okay. All right. Let's take a look real quick. Did we get it? Energy weapons. Laser pistol. We didn't get it. We didn't get. What in the world, man? Because if we give her the blaster, then you know what I mean? That increases our affinity with her. But it wasn't in there. He didn't have it on him.
Hey, I wish my mom could have seen the crashed spaceship.
Mm-hmm.
She was mad as hell when she found out she'd missed the one in the Capital Wasteland.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's chat.
Can we chat?
I'd like that.
All right, what's your thoughts?
Your thoughts?
We were in a fight this one time, and my mom, who was wearing her power armor, punched a raider so hard he flew in the air and got stuck in a tree.
Okay.
That's
All right,
all.
that's all. All right. Headwear. All right, so let's get the. We're gonna get the glasses back on. All right. Well, that was a uneventful bummer. You hear that Ten Pines Bluff may soon be attacked. You know what? I got to be honest with you. That's my least favorite part about one of my least favorite parts about um the settlement system. I understand it. I understand, hey, let's go defend our settlements and stuff like that. And it's kind of like, it's like in the vanilla game,
I'm a mighty, mighty man.
when without survival and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm a mighty, mighty
What would you do? You got that notice, and then you would just fast travel to Ten Pines. And then also you would have to make the call if you were, say, in the middle of a quest. Say you're sneaking through some building or something, and then you see that pop up, and you're like, well, I can't leave now. I'm in halfway through this quest. I can't, I'm in the middle of a dungeon. I can't go and defend them. So you let them defend themselves, right? And you hope it's the way it is, that they hold up. And it's kind of like, it's hard because you can see the appeal and the want to there, but like if we were, I mean, we could try to get the 10 pines. Is it so that the attack won't happen until we actually get there? Or does the attack happen even if we don't go there? What is this? Who's this guy? Another wastelander. Okay. Well, he's walking through like, oh snap! Ow! Does everybody have like stealth? Oh shoot! All right, good job, dog meat. Mystery turkey. So yeah, it's like, am I supposed to just drop everything and go and protect the settlement? And will it wait till I get there? Because remember, there's no fast travel in survival mode. So we're walking. So, like I said, part of me is, I don't know. It was a cool thing when it first, came out, but it just, after a while, just became kind of more tedious, more tiresome, Say, oh, okay, settlements being, I think that's the other thing, right? That you can actually go back to and say, yeah, settlements wasn't exactly there. Even though I did have on my timeline and you on YouTube, not my timeline, but suggested videos that came up, and it was this video of this guy that created this. What is that? What the heck was that? All right, so yeah, we've just walked into some sort of battle here.
This must have been a nice little place before the war. They had their own vault up the hill. This is sanctuary.
All right, hold on. Let's get ourselves where we can help out. I don't think we're gonna. We did it.
Greater than that's sorry, I'll go if you can believe it.
This is us sticking our nose in other people's business. You see that there? My pleasure. Oh. Oh, dang. Dog meat's running from the centaur. Come on, come on. Reload. You hear that? I don't know if that was just like a promise or a command. You know, this says right now you need to die, human.
Now I'm angry!
Well, we don't want that. We don't want that. Not, I don't want you to be angry. Please. Please. And, I mean, seriously, let me know if it was something I said. You know? Because it was not my intention to upset you like this. I can tell. That somewhere down the line, we got off on the wrong foot. I either said or did something that was not to your liking. And in doing so, I caused you irreparable harm or offense. To the point where you would rather just take a couple of bullets to the face than figure out some way to just work this out. This is not good. All right, we'll leave them their dignity. God dang it. For now. Oh, look. Stalker. And another stalker.
Hey,
Newcomer, huh? Talk to Abbott at the wall if you want a history lesson.
Oh, hey. Whoa.
excuse me.
Damn. Not afraid of mutants, huh? You're our kind of gal.
Oh, well, thanks. Sorry about your friends down there. Who are you? Kristen Steele.
Excuse me. Hey, at least it's honest work.
Yeah. Whatever that might be. She's probably a guard for cricket.
Hi.
Just got a hankering for a melting face? I'm your girl. Oh, look, it's the scary reporter.
All right,
Got
I'll take a
few
look.
minutes to browse.
A part of every big purchase goes to planning
Piper's
little
over there
things
having troubles.
that I'll blow up in your honor.
I much you got on you? You got 200 caps on you. And you see right now we have 4,000 caps. Right.
Funny how your habit kicked in after
All right,
your
let's go
first
check
got
on
wiped off the
Piper.
map. Feeling guilty about something, Cricket?
I live here. You can't just lock me out.
What is this?
I can
All right, let's go check out Piper. I'm gonna go to wrong one. I'm gonna go to first person. I want a good look at her.
Heads up.
Oh,
Things can
look
get
at
tough
the.
around here. I once turned the corner and ran into a death clock fighting.
What are you
electric
wearing?
You want into Diamond City, right?
Hmm. What? Wait. I just got here, but yeah, I do.
I just got here, but yeah.
What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, all right. Need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before a van catches on the hoof.
Okay. Something's going on with your legs, but so this place, Diamond City. Yeah. What is
This
it?
place, Diamond City. What is it?
Oh, the Green Jewel? She's a sight. Everyone who's anyone in the Commonwealth is from here, settled here, got kicked out of here. A big wall, some power, working plumbing, schools, and some security goons are what make Diamond City the big monster it is. Oh, love it or hate it. You'll see for yourself soon enough. Let's go.
That's classic Piper. Lots of talking, lots of lying, and if you spend enough time with her, there'll be a lot of crying. She's a pain in the ass.
Piper, who let you back inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate shut. You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonesty in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer
Ooh, that a
scrapped for
statement,
parts.
Mr. McDonough? Tyrant mayor shuts down the press. Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatened to throw free speech in the dumpster.
I've always believed in freedom of the press.
Always believed in freedom of the press.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, miss. No. You look like Diamond City material.
Oh, I do.
Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money. Settle down. Don't let this muckraker here tell you otherwise, all right?
Muckraker. So, what were you two arguing about?
What are you two arguing about anyway?
What do you think? Print lies and everybody's happy, but if you print the truth...
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
Well, what is this place?
What is this place anyway?
Why, this is the safest place in all the Commonwealth, with the strongest community
Is it really?
and the highest standards of living available. We have stores, doctors, schools, power, running water, and the wall as our sacred protector. You'll learn more about the wall soon, I'm sure. But I was talking about you. Come on now, what brought you all the way out here?
No, I'm trying to find someone.
I'm trying to find someone.
Trying to find someone?
Mm-hmm. So, who do you talk to about a missing person?
Who would I talk to about finding a missing person?
Well, whatever you do, don't bother going to Diamond City Security for help.
Don't listen to her. I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find help here. Diamond City has every conceivable service known to man. One of our great citizens can surely find the time to help you.
Oh, so yeah, you must know somebody. Oh, dang. It's taking a while to get that out. Gotta love it.
Feel free to speak your mind. I'm the mayor.
Sure.
Yeah, I am speaking my mind. It just ain't coming out. There we go.
A
Let's try it
mayor
again.
of a great city must know everyone. Who can help me?
Well, there is one private citizen, Nick Valentine, a detective of sorts who specializes in tracking people down, usually for debts or whatnot. Now, I have to get going. I'm sorry, Diamond City Security doesn't have time to help, but I'm sure Mr. Valentine charges a reasonable fee.
This is ridiculous. I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security always shrivels away when talk of missing persons
I've
comes
had
up?
enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. I'm impressed. Not everyone can claw information out of McDonough's tight-fisted hands. Why don't you stop by my office after you see Valentine? I think I just found my next story.
Oh, great. Something's going on with her legs. She's extremely bow-legged and rickety. Danny.
You're Sullivan, right?
So, you're that traitor Piper was talking about. Something tells me she's pulled the wool over my eyes again. Am I right?
Something tells me you're not that bright. Well, so she's done this before, huh?
Piper's done this before.
All the time.
And you still fall for it.
Sometimes she's bluffing, and sometimes there really is a group of 50 raiders just over the hill screaming for blood. So I usually just let her in. Not this time, though. Mayor's on the warpath. Anyway, welcome to Diamond City and all that. I gotta get back to work.
Now, she said to hit her up after you see the detective. Sometimes I always hit her. Sometimes I'll just hit her up and take her with me to the detective. I'm actually gonna just follow what she said this time.
Noodles. We should go to Power Noodles. I haven't had a decent bowl of noodles in forever. Man, it's good to be back.
Bingo.
I've been living on minute noodles for too long.
Hey, kiddo. How are the paper sales?
There we go.
I'm just taking them so that they get off our screen. They're all. They look to be the same.
That motor is going to go soon if we don't replace it.
You've been saying that for weeks in the old girl
Oh, come on. Noodles. We all eat them. Seriously?
There we go.
Can't believe you eat that.
Nice.
Only one thing worth buying in a dugout in.
I just want them. God dang, man.
Nice.
Johnny, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
I hear there's a bar in the old theater district that's called
Excellent.
Raiders Only. Combat Zone. I'd stay clear if I was you.
Okay. Now we want to go to the combat zone because that's where we're gonna find Kate. All right, let's go right here real quick. Allison Pope.
Hey there. You read the paper? Damn sucks. Hiding among us.
Right?
Excuse
Rita?
me. Don't bother, pal. I ain't seen nothing I ain't heard.
Okay.
Do yourself a favor and just say yes.
Yeah?
That's all he understands.
How much is it? Let's take 10. Right now. Oop, nope. Cancel. Go. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we love ourselves some noodle cups. Why? Because they hit you, they take care of your thirst as well.
Can't drink liquor no more. Cola. Need a nuka-cola.
Sheffield.
Nuka-cola.
Here you go.
Go.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
Alright, now we're gonna send him to 10 Pines, see if he can help protect him.
Hey,
Hey.
Sheffield. What do you think about coming to work for me?
Really?
Yeah.
You mean it?
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's right.
Okay, I'll do it.
Alright. Well, I mean, we could at least send some help their way, right? Alright, we need to go talk to Nick. I mean, we can use... Well, we can't use that as an use, but we could use these if we needed to. If we wanted to.
Protection for sale. Hand-tooled pieces. Sometimes you gotta wonder, does anyone fight back? Institute has to have enemies, right?
Did we miss the door? Yeah, that's the greenhouse. Oh, there it is.
Heard from my cousin. He knows a guy that works for him. They got a code phrase and everything. Follow.
Told you your luck wouldn't last forever. His ties. Oh, Nick.
Hold on a sec.
Nice. The bills. Huh.
Something wrong?
Another stray coming in from the rain. Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
Wait, who are you? You detective?
Wait, who are you? You the detective?
Me? No, I'm Nick's secretary. Handle his appointments, his papers, that sort of thing. Well, that's what I used to do anyway, but now Nick's disappeared and I can't keep a detective agency open without a detective.
You have any idea? You know? Tell me what happened. Uh-oh. Hold on. All right, here we go. Sometimes, man.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
Nick was working a case. Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there that they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
All right, and who's this guy?
Who's this Skinny Malone character?
I don't know much about him, but he's from Good Neighbor, and that means he's in the well-pressed suits and machine gun school of thuggery.
And you say he's from Good Neighbor?
You said Malone's from Good Neighbor?
Yeah, it's a tough neighborhood. Northeast a ways. People with power there care about two things: style and body count.
All right, I'll find him.
I'll find him. You have my word.
Thank you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.
Okay. So now we got to go find Nick, but I think I want Piper with this to work on her affinity as well. She'll love that. So we'll go back, talk to Piper
Don't move, Sam.
after
What have
this.
you done with the real violence? Where's my brother? I swear I'm not a synth. Don't shoot, for God's sakes, for family!
Put the gun down now!
He's a synth! He'll kill us all! Kyle, no!
Okay,
You
so
can't trust anybody
there are no synths
when
in Diamond
anybody
City.
can
Hear
be a
me?
synth.
Just you folks and your damn paranoia.
Hey,
He pulled a gun on me.
Hey, Takahashi.
My own brother.
How's it hanging? Yes. Yes.
So what happened?
what happened?
I'm not a synth. I told him. I kept telling him. Why didn't he listen to me? I need a minute.
All right, man.
Officer?
Move along.
Hey, officer.
I need you to step away, Scabber.
Look, I understand. I'm just
I understand, officer. I just want to know what happened.
What, you didn't hear the shouting? Guy pulls a gun on his own brother, thinking he's a synth. It's that newspaper's fault. Got people all riled up, thinking their own family might be replaced by machines. Look, I'm sorry you got caught up in all this, but it's over, okay? Just go about your business like nothing happened. Better that way.
all right. I think we can go in here. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, it's a little different in here. Fear the future. We've all succumbed to it at one point or another, no matter how brave or how strong we actually are. The people of the Commonwealth have known fear. Ever since the Broken Mask incident of 2229, right here in Diamond City, when the first human looking synth infiltrated and attacked a group of innocent settlers, we have lain awake in bed at night, terrified of the Institute and everything it represents. Long have we dreaded the possibilities. Will someone I know be taken, snatched in the night, for who knows what reason? Will one of my loved ones suddenly turn on me because they are, in fact, a synth replacement? Or will the boogeyman finally step out of the closet and devour all who stand in its way? We, the people of the Commonwealth, remember the past. We live in terror in the present. But must we also fear the future? In an almost unthinkable series of recent events, the Institute has destroyed anyone in the Commonwealth who could conceivably stop them, including long-term player the Railroad, as well as the newly arrived Brotherhood of Steel. What's more, the shadowy, sinister organization has completed work on the advanced nuclear reactor that will provide them with nearly unlimited power for the foreseeable future. This surely means greater underground expansion as well as increased range of their teleporter technology, which until recently had been a closely guarded Institute secret. So exactly what does this mean for the Commonwealth going forward? Nothing good. Seems to be the consensus. In fact, most people assume the worst. Quite long. Oh,
Hell yeah.
Another fear of the future.
Bingo.
Okay, we can loot that. Good. Anything else? Can't loot any of the other stuff. Probably until... Yeah, this is all different in here. Okay, let's find her.
Selling papers is busy work, lady.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm here to talk to your sister.
Piper.
Glad you dropped by.
Hmm?
Not blue?
Wait a minute, why are you calling me that?
Why are you calling me that?
Because you're a vault dweller? I know you're not wearing a blue jumpsuit right now, but the Pip-Boy and that fish out of water look, dead giveaways.
Maybe I took it off of Heather. She's got on a
I
blue
want an interview.
suit.
Your life story in print. I think it's time Diamond City had a little outside perspective on the Commonwealth. You do that, and I'll tell you what. I'll come with you. Watch your back while you get used to the world above ground.
What kind of interview is this?
What kind of interview is this going to be?
I ask you who you are, get your opinion on life out there, and maybe load up a few tough questions and keep it interesting. What do you say?
All right, let's give it a go.
All right, Piper. I'm in.
Good. Let's get down to business. So, I know you're from a vault. How would you describe your time on the inside?
Well, we were frozen.
My family and I were frozen. I didn't spend much time in the vault.
Wait, they boxed you up in a fridge? The whole time? Are you saying you were alive before the war?
Yep. 200 years.
Yes. I'm over 200 years old.
Oh my god. The woman out of time. So, you've seen the Commonwealth, Diamond City. How does it compare to your old life?
Hmm. Yeah. Seen everybody out here trying to survive, trying to rebuild. It kind of gives you hope.
Honestly, seeing everyone surviving out here, rebuilding the world, it gives me hope.
That's surprisingly inspired, Blue. We're definitely quoting that. Now, the big question. You came all this way looking for someone. Who is it?
My son.
My baby, Sean, was kidnapped. He's not even a year old.
The parent after the missing child. As heartbreaking today as it ever was. Tell me, do you suspect the Institute's involved?
A man took him.
A man took Sean, not some shadowy group.
I hope that's true. Because if they are involved, everything gets worse. For the last part of our interview, I'd like to do something different. I want you to make a statement to Diamond City directly. The threat of kidnapping is all but ignored in the Commonwealth. Everyone wants to pretend it just doesn't happen. What would you say to someone out there who's lost a loved one but might be too scared or too numb to the world to look for them?
Don't give up.
No matter how much you want to give up, don't. You have to have hope that you'll see them again. Or at least that you'll know the truth.
A strong note to end on, Blue. Thanks. That's everything. It's gonna take some time to put this all together, but I think your story is gonna get Diamond City plenty to talk about. Anyway, I agreed to come with you, right? Watch your back. Just say the word when you're ready. I can't wait to see where the story goes next.
We gotta wait for a minute. You see it's stuck. Alright, so now we should be able to go around and loot some other stuff. Now that we're partners in crime. Sure, in a minute. Boom, boom. Alright. Hey.
Hey, Piper.
Heading my way?
Yeah, let's go.
Sure, let's go.
Will do. Oh, sorry, boy. Time for you to head home.
Now, I don't know if that's really the case, if he's gonna get sent home or not. I'm okay with it if he does. I mean,
Come on. Carry something before you cripple yourself.
shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that heavy, right? Shouldn't be there yet. See, again, I don't know that we've gotten to that point yet. Oh God. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So we'll grab this other stuff if we want. You can see, and here's my thing, and then again, this could be because of a mod that I have that I've added that is causing that, but you can see there's obviously there's a mod in here to change oh, real quick here. Am I carrying too much? I sure am. All right. I didn't realize. My bad. Okay, so we're gonna give her a combat knife. I'm gonna give her the ray gun. What is this one? 9mm. Ooh. I'm gonna give her this one. 556 ammo. So give her one of those. There it is. All right. And then all right. Now she has road leathers. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give her. Thought I was. I want to give her. Oh, I'm gonna give her that. To be honest with you, I'm gonna give her glasses. I think. we are going to put those on her. Give her that. I mean, this is her battle gear, okay? What is this one? I'm not going to give her that. All right. Okay. Let's get out here real quick. All right, she's with us. Okay. So, let's get on over here real quick. This is weapons and armor. Okay. So what we're gonna do is this first. Uh huh.
Protection from Commonwealth weaponry.
I have to really think about that one. All right. So what I want to look at is. That chest piece, which one are we wearing? We're wearing this one, which is way... Okay, alright, so this is what I'm going to do. We're going to come in here, we're going to add that piece right there, and then we're going to say invisible, okay? Really, that's all I'm going to do to change that. Alright, so we'll do that. This is heavy, so it's got good stats. We're going to add that, and then we're going to change that to invisible as well. Alright, so that's the left arm. Do we have a left leg? We'll go with this one. Add that, and then we'll come back, and you see sometimes, even though we did, it didn't do anything. Let's go over here. Let's just, you see, so sometimes, boom, and then come back. And then this guy, you see, now we can do the same. And then right arm. I should give her the medium. We'll do that, right? And then we're gonna have to come down here and do the leg as well. And do that. And I say, okay, that, all right. And then if we come back, that right arm did not update. And sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. And it's unfortunate. Right? But in truth, not a lot we can do.
Undefended. High quality protection for sale.
Let's do this. And then come back. See, yeah. Maybe there's a right arm. There we go. Right, left arm. There we go. What am I wearing? What right arm am I wearing? I'm wearing a synth right arm. And then so reduces, okay, so that, alright, and what's this right arm up here does? Mutant Slayer, so reduces damage from super mutants. Alright. Then we can add a weave to it, and the best weave we can add is Ballistic Weave 4, which is awesome. And we can put in, say, lighter build, right? And then we could armor enhancement. We could go, say, extra pockets.
Protection from Commonwealth weaponry.
And if we wanted to, we could say here. Just add a few more points. And then now, boom. And then we can go talk to Oh, I love your outfit.
Sorry, Blue. The jig is up. Takahashi told me everything. Whoever lies, gone.
Piper.
Don't walk outside the wall undefended. High quality protection for sale.
There you are. Hey, Piper.
Something to say?
Hold on. All right, wait. God dang it. That's all.
Nothing.
All right.
All right, inventory. Okay, makes it quick, simple, and easy. All right, so what we are gonna give her, and all right. So first thing is we're gonna give her that. I can't remember which one I did. All right. Was it the left arm? I think it was the left arm. Which one? I believe it's the left flag. And did we do the right leg? I think we did. Okay, and then before I do that, where is the other guy? What happened to him? Oh, there it is. Now, okay. Then we're gonna get rid of that one. All right. So then we come over here. Boom, 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 boom. And then so now she is protected.
Big, loud, corrupt officials involved in
All right. And then we will come down here and we will equip that. And holy cow, that was awesome. I think she's got a lot of gear on her too that's invisible, right? Heather? Are you serious? Oh, my bad, Heather. Holy cow. No one? Oh. God dang it. Sorry, guys. But we got to get down here and we can't have... All right, here. Boom. All right. This is the which one we took? We used the military one. So I'll be honest with you. I don't really like those outfits much, and the main reason is because there it is. This is the one we used. So if we went and did this, see now we could add that. Wait, does it already have the weave on it? It does not. So we add this attachment here that we could come back and say here, throw a weave on here. Unfortunately, we used everything already, so we used up all our stuff. But one of the things we could do is at least make the hazmat stuff a little stronger. What I'm going to do, and sadly, it might not be completely fair, but what we can do is we can come over here, add this, dang it, add that, and come over here, say invisible, and then left arm, come over here, boom, invisible, left leg. We're out of... We used up all our crucial stuff, so not much we can do there. Right arm, we can do the same. Visible. No wonder she was going down so often. And then, boom. All right. And I think, yeah, let's get her hooked up real quick. Heather, please forgive me. I totally didn't realize I'd done that to you. And then maybe it was my intention to hook you up later. Here, take that. Take that, and that. Let's get over here and okay. No, cancel. Oh, okay. Oh, I don't want to sell that to you. I don't want to sell it. I don't want to sell it. Yeah, exit. Cancel trade. Cancel trade. All right. Hey.
What's up?
All right, here we go. My bad. Man. Boom, 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 and boom. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. She should be able to hold up longer now without getting like me having to resuscitate her every time. What time is it? What time is it? It is 2:30.
The latest hairstyles from the upper stands.
Excuse me, you got a moment? Tell me, are you worried about the possible infiltration of Diamond City's ruling elite by synths?
Yeah, Piper, I am. But I ain't
Whatever you're
buying
gonna
no
ask,
news.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Pretty chummy with that fork, huh? Careful.
You just got your meat like. Okay, that sounds bad, but you just have your stuff just like on the ground out here. Okay. See, now the hope is that these guys, giving them, as you can see, we there's that is a way that we can use the armor and still keep the aesthetic of the outfits that they're wearing, which apparently is very important to me. All right. Well, it's taking a while to load, so either it's just taking a while to load up what's the name, or we've gotten to the point where the responsiveness of the game is getting a little much to handle. Now, for me, I'm actually really enjoying this list. And as one of the things that you can clearly see, even for me, there's no list that is just out of the box 100% okay, right? Uh-oh. So, and as you probably noticed, with every list, I'm adding mods myself. So it's not just, oh, this list is point on and everything about it is awesome. That is not the case. That will never be the case. Because I just don't think when we really look at it, there it's just not possible for there to be a list that's 100% on point with me and then 100% on point with you, right? Just because we have differences of opinion, there's different things that we want from a list that we expect to see. And, not everybody wants lootable crates. Not everybody, some people might feel that that's a little bit too cheaty. You know, it's too much of an advantage, unfair advantage. Some people may not want um to be able to make the armor invisible. Again, that's kind of a that's an that's optional. You're not required to make the armor invisible. That's but that is why I like ECO, because of that option. Who's invisible right
What?
here? Dude,
Better in our hands anyway.
dude, this is not a place for you, man. Seriously?
Jeez.
You guys came in here and just cleared out all my enemies? They didn't, but I'm sure they would have. There should be one right there. God dang it. You know what this is gonna do? Alright, get ready. I can't remember if this list or not. Oh shoot. It's the first time I noticed the wedding ring on my hand. Okay. And then what I meant there was, okay, so not every list has it so that you when you kill a legendary rad roach, that it explodes into more rad roaches. Um Part of me, I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I think it's the grossest thing ever, you know? But part of me also, when you're prepared for it and you know it's going to happen, then I'm I'm on board with it. That makes sense, right? I'm on board with it when I know it's going to happen and I'm prepared for it. I'm not on board with it when I'm not prepared for it, right? Because it's just gross. But somehow I feel like if VATS is working and I got the ammo required and I got a decent enough gun, decent enough weapon, then okay, let her rip. You know, we'll 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 make do.
Great. Everyone's favorite reporter. You are infuriating. You know that?
All right, I just want to look at that. Mm-hmm. Okay, at some point we got to start worrying about our weight. Right, we gave a lot of stuff away, but we didn't give all our stuff away. And there's a lot of gunfire. All right, where's the people at? Okay, what's my weight at? We're right there. Okay, so right here, you can see this one right here. This is our dimensional box, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, our bag of holding, right? And the way I usually um, normally handle stuff. All right, so we're gonna take the compact pistol. We're gonna take the caravan carbine. I'm gonna take and put that away. This one is intriguing. Don't need that one. that one. Nope. The Rat Slayer. Not sure about yet. Varmint Rifle we can put away. The Tinkerer. We already have one that's better. So now this combat rifle right here. That one's very interesting. So we'll look at that one. All right, the Soviet rifle can go away. Never-ending powerful hunting shotgun. I forgot all about that guy. So do we need all these here? All right, now what we have here though, right? I am very intrigued with this Dappler gambler suit. The newsboy cap will keep. The goggles, horn rim glasses. I'm intrigued by. Oh, this one's better than the other one. Than this one. Look at that. Okay. You even see where it says down at the bottom there, where box of holding. So we can put this stuff away for now. 14 pounds right there. There's 20 pounds, but I'm not ready to put that away just yet. Also want to take a look at that. These two. All right. And then what's this one about? Railroad uniform light. So those are ones we need to investigate. And then, as you can see here, I mean, if we really went down the list, we could say, okay, if you're a pound or a pound and a half, then you definitely got to go. £5. And then, and you can see ammo has no weight, so I haven't been really worried about the ammo at all. Okay, we're getting to that point, and it's kind of funny. Yes, it's not lost on me that we just went through the process of clearing out a bunch of loot, and the very first thing I do is I start looting even more. So yeah, no, it's not lost, right? Not when there's something to be had.
Message to Rodrigo Palomar. Okay, my friend. I thought about it, and I've reached a decision on the Fallon's job. Your cut is exactly what you deserve. $0. Zilch. You heard me right. You get nothing. Yes, you cracked the safe, and yes, we got the diamonds. But you also tripped the alarm. Mackie got pinched, and that's entirely your fault.
Oh, sorry.
Now, when
Sorry,
he gets
Piper.
out, Mackie's gonna want your head on a platter. I'm gonna give him your share instead. I see you're getting off easy. Eddie Winter, signing off.
That's not okay. That she would have gotten hit like that. I'm not happy about that. Where's our girl? Where's our girl? We gotta make it up to her. Hey, hey.
Hey,
Just let me know. What's going on?
Your thoughts?
thoughts?
Right behind you.
Everything
I
okay?
just wanted to check in. Make sure things were all right between us.
I suppose things are all right. Just feels like we could be doing more for folks out here, you know?
Yeah, I got it. That's all I had.
Nothing else for now.
All right.
All right. There's a little bit of an echo in there. A little echo chamber. God dang. All right, so there's a couple of things we're gonna end up doing next time out. Right now, we're gonna spark
That takes
these
care of
guys.
that.
Ooh, ooh, that was it. There we go. Oh, okay. Um.
You must get old, huh, Piper? Pissing everyone off everywhere you go.
Okay, so what we're gonna do for next time up, just want to check in here real quick. Okay, nothing down this way. You can hear a lot of gunfire going on. Not sure exactly who that is or where it's coming from. That's all right. What we're going to do is we're going into the public library. So next time up, we're going to do that. And then we're going to head on over to the sewer where Nick is holed up. Well, yeah, we got to go check this place out. But yeah, that's next time. All right, guys. So you guys know the drill. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. All right, guys. Peace.